Welcome everybody to Phandom Knights, where we break down pop culture one fandom at a time. Today we're talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 3, Chepisode 5, The Beach. Intro.
Intermission.
Alright guys, let's get into this. I'm Chris.
And I'm Dustin.
And I'm Sherman.
And Dustin, you want to take us through the story?
Sure. So Zuko, Azula, and friends start off by coming on to Ember Island, where they used to go to all the time as kids. And they pretty much just have a bunch of deep talks. That's pretty much all it is.
Deep.
And we get to see how truly psychotic Azula is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, every time that she even, talks in this episode, it's just like, alright, yeah, she's,
Turned up to 11.
Yeah.
Again, it's just a fish out of water thing where you see them in their normal habitat where they're leading armies and all these big, huge, grand things. They're leading the Fire Nation. And then you put them in a normal situation, and they're just it shows how weird they really are. You know what I mean?
Bunch of air inside of me. About to airbend. I need to start saying that every time I fart. Just like, I'm gonna airbend.
Fart in my throat. I just kind of took little random notes as we were going through, but Ember Island, the old ladies, then they show
Lo and Lee,
and they show their younger picture.
Who are these two beautiful women?
Can't you tell?
I think in the background of that, Zuko's throwing up. He doesn't show it, but he's when it shows them again.
Especially when they're reenacting their dance.
Right. And then there's that one scene, time to go to the beach, and it's just,
Sag. Some Fire Nation soldiers spot Aang, and they send a messenger hawk to the Fire Lord to alert him that the Avatar is still alive.
Yeah.
I just love how cool those messenger hawks look.
What, did Aang shave his head?
No, he still hasn't shaved his head.
Okay, for some reason, when I'm remembering it, I'm like, oh, he's bald again. But
no, they make a point of showing when he shaves his head in this season.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a big scene.
Yeah, because he gets that hero pose.
Right. Then they all are kind of just at the beach, like you said, and there's just a lot of interesting dynamics between all four of the Fire Nation characters, and I don't know, Ty Lee's getting a lot of attention in this episode.
It's really weird seeing how this episode ended up on screen, because I was looking into weird trivia for this episode. Apparently the story for Zuko, Azula, Mai, and Ty Lee was supposed to be the secondary part of this episode originally, and the Avatar gang was supposed to, or Team Avatar was supposed to be the primary.
Oh,
which I'm so glad that they flipped it, because you get to see more in depth as to how these people interact with each other and what drives them.
Team Fire Nation.
It sort of feels like a filler episode, but it's one of those necessary filler episodes where now that you've seen this, you realize where Ty Lee's coming from, you realize where Mai is coming from, and even...
Can you imagine having 6 siblings that look exactly like her?
Identical? Yeah, I don't know, it's just, it humanizes...
My clone army.
Humanizes them a lot more. But there's just a lot of funny lines like that.
They all have the same name. Ty Lee's attack!
When they're all sitting on the beach, I just think it's so funny how Zuko just looks over. Oh, a shell right next to me. Here you go. It's like me going, here you go, Dustin. Thanks. I saw this and I thought of you. I mean, it was sitting right next to me, but it's I don't know.
Meanwhile, the guy gives it to Ty Lee because, I'd be like, sweet, I'm thirsty.
Yeah, only stupid girls like pretty things, and then Ty Lee's like, oh, it's beautiful. I like the name of the guys who invite him to the party. Was it Chan and Ranjan? I'm like, that is the perfect name for you guys. Actually, Ranjan Surf Shop.
This is the second time we've got reference of Chan, though.
Oh, really?
So Chan is actually the son of the admiral that gets talked about in the first episode of the season.
Whoa.
So when they get like boarded by the Fire Nation on the hidden vessel, or like the fake Fire Nation ship, they're like, Admiral Chan's supposed to be on vacation at like for the next like couple weeks.
Okay.
This is Admiral Chan's son.
Interesting. What?
I'm just thinking about something else. Do you guys know Chang?
Chang?
Community?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got Changnesia. I just
Maybe I can Chang your mind.
And yeah, speaking of like fish out of water things, like when Azula's trying to like flirt with guys and just all this different stuff, or like the volleyball scene when they're playing volleyball and like, we've destroyed, I don't remember exactly what she says, but
we have defeated you for all time.
For all time. And the fight, there's the nets all on fire and stuff. And I don't know.
I think no, go ahead.
I was like, I feel like they're very much breaking rules here, and I thought it was really cool that it was a
they
round.
were playing exact volleyball.
Right.
It was like a.
It's called Kauai ball.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought it was the round with the net in the middle, so it's like a bisected circle.
It
like,
is.
That seems like it would be really fun and like different. Why do we have squares? I don't know. It's just like, yeah.
Because we like order over
I
here.
guess, yeah.
I just like that it shows that of how much. If you look at like Avatar like fan pages, Azula is constantly referred to as a people person.
What do you call them?
The Fire Team Fire Nation.
Team Fire Nation, yeah. The Zuko and May have their little blow up.
Yeah.
He calls her a big. I thought it was blob, but you said it was blah.
Blah.
Okay, yeah.
Don't you watch those subtitles?
I do, but I just didn't look at it at that point. But then, like after they do their blow up and stuff, he goes to their old childhood home or whatever, and there's all those flashbacks.
Oh, no.
And this is where we see Iroh holding his son, and then Zuko. Like,
no, he's holding Zuko with his son.
Oh, the son is there. Okay, okay, yeah. Oh yeah, because the son's older than Zuko.
Right.
Forgot about that. But man, I just miss Iroh so much. I just want to watch forward until we can see Iroh again. But it's not the same actor even, so I'm like, okay.
Sadness.
I know.
So then we see Zuko having flashbacks of his childhood. One is a picture you'd think is of Ozai and Zuko, but it's actually Iroh with his son. And then I just think it's cool that Iroh always considered Zuko like a son.
Right.
Never as a nephew. Just always one of his, because he never got the love he should have got from his father.
And it's like all Zuko's like happy memories were with Iroh.
Right.
You know, like it doesn't seem like there's many happy memories. With his mom, I guess.
With his mom,
and Iroh,
but like
you know?
the only times he had happy moments with his dad was just like formalities, like
right
in meetings or whatever. There's no intimate, close time with his
I wouldn't
father.
even say they're happy either. He's just content, I guess. Just like,
yeah.
I'm here.
Right. And then when they're eventually talking around the fire and stuff, like he's like burning their childhood memories basically as kindling for the fire, and then they all like open up about all this stuff. And what does May say? That she's like a only child and super spoiled or something, or a lot of expectations on her because she's an only child.
Couldn't get into danger and stuff like that.
Right.
They wanted her to stay home and not get into trouble.
Yeah. And then Ty Lee's one of 6, 7.
Had identity crisis issues.
Yeah, and went off and joined the circus, and then
circus freak is a compliment.
Yeah, that was a pretty good line actually, because she takes so much pride in that. This is kind of unrelated, but I was watching this Indian comic, and he's like talking about how like all these Indian guys are in the audience, like, well, why are we spending money to watch a guy?
Russell Peters.
Yeah, who looks exactly like me, and you can't even insult Indian people by calling them cheap, because they're like they take that as a compliment. You're so cheap. Oh, thank you for noticing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for noticing. Like that's kind of how she is with the circus freak thing. Like, no, it's a compliment to me, you know. But then, Azula is
nothing. There's no.
Well,
thing for Azula.
Well, her mom thought she was a monster. She was right, of course, but
I actually loved that she admits to being a monster. Like she knows she's a terrible person,
right,
and she's okay with that.
You're a monster.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I am.
I saw something where like she's admitting she's a monster, but she's not admitting that it's her fault. in a way. So
she's Kylo Ren.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Do you ever watch? Speaking of comedians, do you ever watch Tom Segura? Because like I love when he talks about like meeting people from New York, and New York is similar, where it's just like it's the only place you can go. Like he's like, you're a real a-hole, right? He's like, thank you. My father was an a-hole. My grandfather was an a-hole.
But then Zuko, he's just angry. Like that's kind of where he's at, and
he's angry with himself.
Yeah, he's not angry at anyone else or all the circuit. He's just angry at himself for what? Just for not being better.
I think right now he's mad at himself for betraying Iroh.
Yeah, and
I think
for a lot of things.
He probably
for a lot of
doesn't
things, yes.
that
But I think the heaviest thing on his heart right now is like, I betrayed the only person who ever truly cared about me.
That's a good insight. I didn't think about it like that, because he's having all these flashbacks of Iroh and all these happy times. Yet he's so angry still, and he just doesn't even realize why yet. Yeah.
Because even, I don't know if it came up yet, but he had those scenes when he went and talked to Iroh, and like was just like, why won't you listen to me? Like,
when he was in prison,
right?
Iroh's just silent the whole time.
Right.
Yeah. Why did I write "party's over"? LOL. I don't remember.
Oh, because they show back up and like.
Oh, they like
towards the end, and they're like,
yeah, okay.
break the party up.
Which, so that oh, good.
So speaking of the party, I don't know, like during the main part of the party, I don't know if you guys noticed this. So the music in the background, there's a lot of conversation happening when they're in the party, so it's hard to notice this. The music in the background is the exact same music from Aang's dance party in the cave.
Nice.
So it's the Flamios playing in the background.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's super cool. Way earlier in the episode when they're like on the boat, there's that hippo thing.
So
you know what that is?
There's nothing in the Avatar wiki about it.
I was like, it's a hippo something. Maybe
I put down
hippo
seal/walrus because it kind of had like those characteristics. Well, because hippos typically have like a longer muzzle to them.
Yeah.
And this one had a very short one, more of like a seal or a walrus, but it didn't have like tusks. So that's why I was kind of like,
seal.
I don't know what it is.
It's like a seal whale or a hippo.
Well, it's not going to be a whale, but
it's big though. I don't know. That's why.
Hippos are huge, dude.
Yeah, but that thing's like bigger than a ship. I don't know. Whatever.
Obviously
it
wasn't.
All we saw was the head too. Maybe it's Nessie. We'll just call her Nessie.
So yeah, we had the hippo. I'm going to say seal.
Yep.
Hippo, seal, the messenger hawk, and then that raven eagle that like took down the messenger hawk, which is weird because it's the only appearance of that bird.
Just like up until now, it's the only combustion bender we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Up until next show.
Next show. Yeah.
Piley.
It's just so crazy how he does that with his mind. Like, he does breathe though, doesn't he? He's like.
Everyone breathes.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying before he bends, he like does still use his breath, but it's somehow coming out of his head, right? I don't know. It's just weird.
They drilled into his head.
Yeah.
It's because your breath as a firebender is where you get your power.
No, I know. I'm just. It's not all mental.
Listen to Iroh. He tells Zuko that.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Yeah, I think that's all I got. That Aang and the gang are just flying away, and that's the end of the episode. So. Yeah. For bending numbers, this didn't have that much, but there was 1 instance of water, there was 6 instances of earth, 15 of fire, and 10 of air. So,
skirt.
Yeah, that's what I got for that. Do you guys have anything else in this episode?
So we got Scott Menville coming back, Robin from Teen Titans.
Oh, okay.
He's the first guy that like starts swooning over Ty Lee at the beach. He's like, you're so pretty.
Oh, the guy that gives him shade.
Yeah. And then the guy who plays Chan is Eric Von, I'm going to say Detton. Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
Sweet pickle relish.
What?
Graham asked me to get sweet pickle relish. I remember that.
Good Lord.
I don't know why that popped up, but thank you.
So he doesn't have a ton of stuff, but there's one big one. He does the voice of Sid from Toy Story.
Oh, okay.
He plays Chan.
Huh.
That's cool.
And then I found this fun fact about this specific episode. So the original swimsuit designs for May, Tylee, and Azula for concept art, like when they pitched it to the network for the episode, the original swimsuit designs were deemed too sexy for Nickelodeon's shows. So they had to redo them.
Wow, these are the redone?
These are the redone swimsuits.
Yeah, I have, in the art book, I have the original art of what the two sexy...
What? I gotta see this.
I have a book with the two sexy versions of Azula and Tylee and...
Oh my gosh.
Not me, just Tylee and Azula. Still.
And Aang. Aang, cover up!
Alright, odd question. So, like, we were in our teens when we watched this show.
Should we end this and then discuss something else? Or is
no, like, it's a part of Avatar.
Okay.
So,
just making sure.
And because we're talking about the whole too sexy thing, we were, like, teenagers when we were when this first aired, right?
I was adult when I first watched through the series.
He was 18, because I was 10.
Yeah, I had seen it.
You were 10?
I was 10 in 2005 when it came out.
Yeah.
So, when this episode, like, you first watched it...
Dude,
like,
all the girls were banging to me.
Right? Okay, thank you. I'm like...
When I was 10? Yes.
Dude, even when I was in high school, I still, like...
Dude, I probably did... No, I'm not even gonna
Good lord, dude.
No, seriously.
So that's been our episode of Phandom Knights.
No, seriously, it's a theory that, like, because of, like, early 2000s Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network shows, it, like, made our current, like, age generation, like, into a specific type of, like, people. Or, like, types of women. Like,
Thanks, Dan Schneider.
Right? Not even joking.
Dan Schneider?
Yeah, because he
He's
did...
a creepo pedophile.
Because he did, like, all of, like,
the guy who like hired all the Nickelodeon.
He's the guy who's created pretty much any successful Nickelodeon show.
Like,
yeah. And he's
Drake and Josh,
creepy,
iCarly, all these shows.
Mm-hmm.
He probably had a hand in this one too.
This
specific episode.
No, hopefully not. Please don't have his hand. No, this is different. He didn't have anything to do.
Because believe it or not, I always like
he didn't do anything with
May
animation.
better than anybody else.
Who?
May.
You were attracted to May more?
I like the dark, like, pale gothy chicks.
That's you. You also dig menstrual cups too.
Good lord.
Nice. I personally don't.
It's not TikTok. It's to the world.
I
man.
don't enjoy it. That's why I asked, like, how do you find that romantic?
Okay, let's talk about something. Let's end this episode. Dustin, take us out of here.
If you'd like to buy a menstrual cup,
good
please
lord,
go on Amazon. All right, thank you guys for watching this episode.
I'll ask my girlfriend for the links.
I'll edit this out. Thank you guys for this episode of Phandom Knights, where we break down pop culture one fandom at a time. See, doesn't that sound kind of cool? Doing it in the outros.
That is kind of nice. Yeah.
It's just an on-the-spot idea I had.
Yeah, that's nice.
But, subscribe to our Apple and Spotify podcast to see the video version. Subscribe to YouTube. And become a Phandom Knight on Facebook. What's so funny?
TikTok.
Instagram, TikTok, and that's it. Twitter. Tweet.
Oh, yeah.
Appa!
Yep.